Today, folks, in the studio for the second time, I believe, Cristy CodeRed.
Man, I'm so good to be back in Vegas, which, by the way, I got a nosebleed this morning because it's so dry here.
It is.
It's so dry.
I love dry. I just got a little spot in Nashville, and it's not dry there. Yeah. And I'm telling you, the 90 there feels like unbearable.
I saw that you guys got that place.
Yeah, 110 here is like, psh, that's comfy.
Yeah.
As long as it's dry. But it will make your nose bleed.
Yeah.
Folks, if you guys don't know who she is, she's been on before. She's a world-ranked boxer, or was. You retired from that.
Retired, yeah.
She kicked other girls' ass. Celebrity nutritionist, award-winning personal trainer, and basically an elite-level athlete on many fronts.
Yeah.
She wrote the book, The CodeRed Revolution. Yeah? Was that a book?
Best-selling book. Best-selling.
And what did it talk about?
It was about how to lose weight without shakes, pills, diet, foods, or exercise. So it's basically real food, water, and sleep, and it's full of success stories.
Real food, water, and sleep. I got to work on.
People don't believe what they hear. They believe what they see. So you got to put success stories in there.
I got to work on the sleep part.
You have to work on the sleep. You ain't sleeping, you ain't losing.
Now, you said you have a bedtime at 8 p.m. every single night.
Every night. I'm asleep by 8.
So when do you go to bed? 7?
Yeah. Because I like to watch like YouTube, sometimes YouTube videos and, ASMR. I've kind of been getting into that a little bit with my headphones, and I just I start my sleeping routine. I put my blue light blocking glasses on, and I start the routine, and then I'm asleep by 8 and then up at 4 without an alarm. So when I bounce out of bed, like I'm smiling when I get out of bed. I feel good. And I just
How many
jump
hours
up.
is that?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8 hours.
So 8 hours is good.
It's a sleep score that I'm going for, though. So I track my sleep with a sleep score with they have these different devices that.
Yeah. What is it usually?
Huh?
What's your sleep score?
Between 88 and 92 every night. Yeah. What is your sleep score?
Like 77.
Oh, okay. Well, what we say in CodeRed is you want to move in a direction of better.
Yeah, but what is your resting heart rate?
Ooh, I don't know. You must have an Oura ring.
The other day, I got a 42. I'm thinking, dude, like that's extreme athlete type shit.
Good. That's pretty good.
Someone said that's because you don't stress about shit. Now maybe that's it, because I don't really stress.
I was going to say, is that true about you?
I don't really stress. No.
I don't have stress anymore. 0.
Well, the stress, people got to understand stress is really a decision. Like you decide to stress. You decide to react the way you react to news and stuff. So I can't say I've never stressed.
Sure. But
I don't like the feeling of stressing. And since I'm in control and I decide what I feel like, I just choose not to stress. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? And
you change the circumstances so that stress doesn't even enter into the picture.
Yeah, but I check my sleep score every time I wake up. It's always in the 70s. The other day it was like a 62 because I was tossing and turning. But I'll go to bed around 11 to midnight and wake up at 5 without an alarm.
In my opinion, it's just not enough sleep, and you can see from your sleep score, it's just not. I would like to see you in the 80s if I was.
I would love it, but I don't stay asleep. So
that's the problem, is that you wake up naturally. Is there any way you can go to bed a little earlier?
But I would just wake up earlier. I've said I'm going to go to bed tonight at like 9, and I wake up at like 2. Oh. Like I wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Now getting up early is one thing, but like if I get up and it's 2:30, I look, because I sometimes will wake up wide awake, by the way.
Yeah.
2:30, I'm like, I shut my eyes and go back to sleep on purpose. But then when I wake up after I do that, I'm extremely lethargic for some reason.
And you know why? Because a sleep cycle is 90 minutes. And to get through all 3 sleep stages, it's 90 minutes. So if those people who hit their alarm, I'm baffled, because until you go back to sleep and then you wake up in the middle of a sleep cycle, you are going to be groggy. Yeah. So if you're going to go back to sleep, make sure it's 90 minutes.
Yeah. So that's what's happening.
Yes.
So you just explained it.
Yes. I got a bomb.
Now, she knows a lot about fitness.
Yeah.
So sleep is a part of fitness.
Yeah, I don't do much with fitness anymore. I really only do handle weight loss. CodeRed, really, our target audience is menopausal women in their 50s and 60s. So people come to me for fitness later on when we get into our maintenance program. We want people to lose all their weight, then they enter into our maintenance program, and then we transition them to fitness. because you do need to exercise. Exercise is great for a million other reasons. It's just not a way to address a weight problem. You're not going to be able to exercise off your weight problem. Right now, I'm training for Mount Whitney, which is the tallest peak in the lower 48, and I'm going to be hiking Mount Whitney. It's a really grueling hike. I mean, it'll be every bit as hard as when I did rim to rim on the Grand Canyon. And I am doing 2-a-day workouts. I was up at the Mandalay Bay this morning, up early, working out hard, and I'll work out again tonight.
What does your hair look like when you work out?
When I work out, so when I wake up, because I'm a side sleeper, the hair looks like this. And then when I start working out, the front starts to flop, and then it starts doing this. If you watch me on Instagram, you're gonna see a lot, because I don't care what I look like when I get on Instagram. So if I want to drop a little bit of weight, my diet has got to be perfect. I can't, and I'm thinking, I just burned 1,000 calories, 500 this morning and 500 tonight. It should be fine. I can have blank. No way. I can't even make one mistake with my diet.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. It's frustrating.
It's like the other day, I always see these people talking about, you can lose a bunch of weight without cardio. And it's like, I've never been able to.
I agree.
Like the only time I ever like start getting fit, like real fit, cardio's involved. I've tried with no cardio and it just doesn't do it.
Right. And that's what I hear these people that say, oh, cardio, you don't need to do it. And I was like, well, my people do it and I do it. And I've got a dog that's 2 years old and he needs a lot of exercise if I don't want him to tear up my house. And I've got to get out and run with him. So I'm not even a great runner. I'm just kind of sound like a Clydesdale coming down the road. I'm a kind of a heavy, thick girl. But I do it because I love it. I do it because I love to sweat. I love to get my heart rate up. We all need to get our heart rate up every day. My dad is a heart attack, has had past heart attack, and he won't even exercise even 30 minutes a day.
Why do you think people are like that?
I don't understand. I don't know. This is baffling to me that I run a huge company that helps people do exactly what my dad, and yet he doesn't understand the benefit. And I think that it's because people are just lazy and they think that it doesn't make a difference. They think that, oh, what is 30 minutes a day? I don't know. It's frustrating to watch him digress year after year, just because he won't follow doctor's orders or he won't do even the bare minimum.
Folks, if you guys want to follow her, by the way, at Cristy CodeRed, Cristy's just CRISTY and then CodeRed, Cristy CodeRed. If you're loving her vibe and you're like, man, I could use someone like that in my life, CodeRedLifestyle.com. And the book is CodeRed Revolution, just in case I forget, because I can tell when me and you start having conversations, They can go anywhere.
I love talking to you. I know this is what happens when we did rabbit hole. Yeah, CodeRedRevolution.com to get the book. You can just look me up. Even if you spell my name wrong, I'll pop up.
So like your dad and other people, I think it would be very advantageous for listeners to consider, why is it so difficult to just simply work out?
Yeah.
Because again, the nation's obese.
88%.
Right. So, and I showed you the fat picture from a minute ago. And again, I'm still technically fat. I just weigh less fat.
It's getting close though, Brad.
No,
you look good.
I'm like 17.6 according to a DEXA scan % body fat still.
Yeah.
I need to be I'm going for single digit just to say I did it. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures and then I'm going to try to hover around, 12%.
That'd be good. I would suggest 12.
Yeah. I was going to say 10, 12 to 14. Like 14 is, better get my ass back to a solid diet. But right now I'm eating 6 times a day, only the right shit. Like literally if I had to eat in 20 minutes and we're still talking, they'll bring my food in.
I believe it. I saw Melissa is meal prepping. She's a
like
meal prepping queen. Yeah. Wow.
So she's making it all for me. All I'm doing is eating and working out. Now, again, all I'm doing. And I think to myself, that's all I'm doing. But at the end of the day, how come no one won't do it?
First of all, I don't see your water bottle. Where's your water bottle?
I've already just pounded one. Matter of fact, I got to go take a piss right now.
We might have to, maybe I'll sing a little song or something.
Yeah, I don't need to carry a water bottle to remind me. I drink water intentionally. I'm about a gallon and a half a day at least.
Good. I'm 160 ounces, so I drink 4 of these 40-ounce bottles. But why won't people do it? I don't get it. I don't know. It's 30 minutes. I mean, really, the minimum 30 minutes of cardio that the American Heart Association recommends. That is nothing. When you think about, I can scroll through TikTok and burn 30 minutes easily. I mean, you get caught up in watching the little dancing, little pointing and the crap and the dogs and I love to follow police stuff, And so why is it that someone cannot get on the treadmill and put it at a 10% incline and walk at 3.5 miles an hour and listen to a podcast, for crying out loud. Listen to this. I don't know why it is so hard. I don't understand. I don't think it's just not a habit. People, they don't want to sweat. They don't want to try. They don't want to change their clothes. I don't.
Well, those are the symptoms. I have a high, I was going to say a high, what's the word I'm looking for? A hypothesis? No.
Oh, a thesis.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think it is. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I've got a theory.
A theory, yeah.
Yeah. My theory is deep down, they don't think they deserve it. Deep down, they don't think they deserve it. Because again, if I said, I am a genie and I will grant you anything you would like, your dream life. And people started saying, how do you want to look? No one's going to say, I'd like to be a little overweight. I'd like to have some love handles. I'd like to have some saggy arms. I'd like to look a little bit scrawny, but fat, but skinny. No one would say that. They would all say, I'd want to be buff. Okay, well, if you truly want to be, and we all should and do, I believe, 100%. And even if you don't admit it, because again, there's a lot of people that are a little bit heavy and they're like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I ain't giving up my ribs and my beer. Right. Well, that's just a choice. But still, if you could have your ribs and your beer and be buff, would you be? Of course, everybody would. So why don't they do it? It must be because deep down, they don't think they deserve to be, or they don't understand the value of being.
Yeah, that's what it is right there. They don't know what the other side feels like. And I've heard this before. It's not that they don't think it'll work. It's that they don't think it'll work for them. And that's what I've also seen. Like, yeah, we know, because they know they've seen other people that do it and they've seen what they look like, but they think, oh, that won't work for me. And you're right. They don't know what the other side feels like. And we always say, like on CodeRed, just give us 30 days, try it. And then you can go back to your ho-hos and SpaghettiOs. You can go back to your Oreos and wash it down with a bottle of wine if you don't feel any different. But because they forget. We did a podcast on my podcast called Forgetting How Good It Feels. And you forget how good you might forget how good you feel right now. And you feel good, right? Do you feel better than you did before?
Sure.
I mean, you look amazing. So
way more clarity.
Sure.
Way more, I would say energy. I look better. When you look better, you feel better. Sometimes I forget how good I look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, like, is that my arm? That's starting to have a little shape to it.
It's working. All your hard work is paying off.
Thank you.
So people do. They forget how good it feels and they don't know what the other side feels like.
Well, that's where I wanted to go with that because dropping bombs was put together to help people like basically avoid situations and challenges. So we drop bombs on them. Well, weight is a challenge. There was the average weight gain in the pandemic was what, 40 pounds?
Between 26 and 41 pounds.
That's a lot of weight. Now, again, go grab a 20-pound weight and walk around with it all day. It won't be long before you want to put that shit down.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if you've got, 60 pounds, you walk around extra 60 pounds all day long, and because I had a bunch on me and you don't feel it when you're walking around. So that's the difference. You don't feel that weight when it's on you, but your organs do. Now you had a bunch of organ failure. What happened with that?
Yeah. So CodeRed was doing, just to back up and give you a little context, CodeRed started doing, I went from food stamps to 10 million in less than 4 years. And so
just helping people get in shape?
Developing CodeRed, not in shape. I don't do fitness, but I do losing weight. So, I have been in the industry 28 years, but 2016 is when my company really took off. I got a business coach. He shifted things around and I ended up just getting just huge.
Quick question, because everyone gets pissed when I keep interrupting people, but I have questions. Okay. So it started kicking ass. Was your hair like that, or was it after your hair was like that?
It was. I think I shaved my hair into a mohawk right about the same time.
See, now that could be a coinky dink.
Maybe.
I'm telling you.
Maybe, yeah.
I was wondering about that. Okay, so it started to blow up.
So it started to blow up 2016, the first year I made my first million, and then I started doing 10 million, and we were doing monster, in my opinion, revenue, doing close to $1 million a month in revenue through 2017, 18, and 19. Just more money coming in. Like, I didn't even know what to do. It was crazy. Good thing that I had a good investor and I made smart decisions because I socked away a lot of money and invested a lot of good money. So I've set myself up for the rest of my life. I could stop working right now and be totally fine and comfortable, which is just great. So what I didn't know though, 2021 came around, and what I didn't know was I had some health problems. And here I am, an elite level athlete. I don't have kids. I don't have stress. I didn't think I had stress. So the middle of 2021 came around and I started getting sick and I didn't know what it was. I started like weight gain that was through my stomach. I have six-pack abs. I have a very flat stomach. That's not where I carry my weight, but my weight started going up. I started having these weird spells where I was wanting to pass out and just different symptoms like that. Had a hard time sleeping, had a lot of energy at night, low energy in the morning. Things were messing up. So I went into all these blood tests. I was seeing doctors. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. Then my organs one by one started shutting down. And my liver, my kidneys, my thyroid, my adrenals, and because of my past boxing injuries, I was at high risk for a stroke. So my blood pressure is going up and I didn't know why. And this is mid 2021. Well, my doctor said, you need to go be hospitalized. Like it was getting bad quick. And so we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what the problem was. Finally found out, and it sounds so weird when I say it like this, found out it was stress. So my stress was so high, I didn't really realize it, that my body was just shutting down one by one because we couldn't find it. I wanted something was wrong, like Addison's disease or something that I could put I could name it and then cure it. And so I started to treat my body. Immediately, my doctor said, you are going to have a stroke. This is going to take your life if you don't. All from stress. All from my body just not being able to, it was all those years of stress piled up and working 16-hour days and kind of my badge of honor saying, well, look at all this money I'm making. Look at all these people I'm helping. Look at all this money I'm saving. Look at the life I live. This is great, and I thought, wow, this is just the way that entrepreneurs do it. Well, kind of, but not like this, Cristy. And so it got out of control. And so immediately I came home and that night I said, that's it. I said, I'm just changing everything about the company. So I made drastic changes literally that night when we figured out what was going on. It took me an entire year to get my body back. Not my body back as far as like after baby kind of body back, my health back in order. I had to go on multiple medications. I had to do all kinds of therapies to get my organs they were sluggish. They weren't doing what they needed to do. I wasn't sleeping right. Everything was just messed up. And my marriage was, it wasn't as good as, it was kind of going downhill. And finally I had to face up to that. So it was multiple problems. I had a puppy that was keeping, it was a lot of different things, but it took me an entire year to get my health in order. So I made the decision to completely change everything at CodeRed. We cut down on staff. We went to a skeleton crew. I cut everybody out of the team who, if they just were kind of not doing their job, I made major cuts, major expense cuts. We built an app. We got off social media. Social media was a major stress because we were delivering our products in Facebook, but sometimes Facebook decided just sometimes not let us into our accounts. And we were like, how are we going to serve our customers if we are always at the mercy of someone else telling us what we can and can't do? So I built an app that took a big chunk of money to build a standalone app for our community, got everybody in there, and just started shifting my, the people that I hung out with, the places that I would go. I got divorced. I got rid of, and I just said, that's it. And then I became extremely protective of every area of my life, everywhere that I would go, everybody that I would talk to, everything that I would do. I shifted around everybody's job duties to where, everybody had the job duty to do, and I did not want to oversee all of that. I still keep my finger on the pulse. Now I work maybe 2 hours a day, maybe. Marley and I were at breakfast this morning. I got all my work done, shut my computer, and now we're free the rest of the day. So now I live my life completely stress-free. I refuse to let even one little bit of stress or worry or anxiety or anything come in my life. I'm just not going to do it. Would I go back and do it again though? Because I made millions and I invested millions and I'm set up for the rest of my life, but it cost me a year of my life.
Well, big deal.
Exactly. And that's what I say.
Exactly. But my question is, do you think it could have been possible to achieve that without stress?
I don't know.
I am an example of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone that you can achieve without the stress?
Yeah. I've made millions. I make millions.
But what about in the earlier years before you kind of figured things out?
Yeah, but I've never stressed.
Okay. Well, I did it wrong then.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is maybe it would have been possible for you to do what you did and not stress. My question is it OCD thing about you?
And that's what my business coach James says. He said he believes in the hustle detox, like not, and I'm like, you gotta hustle. I think what I was doing, if I look back now, Brad, is what I was not being efficient with my time. I always thought outsource. And I thought I was outsourcing enough, but I could have outsourced more. I could have delegated more. I could have taken on less. And I could have just done what I'm doing now, which is only big picture. My sister, who is my COO, she says, my job is this is what she says about herself. My job is to keep the ships floating. Cristy's job is go out and buy more ships. And that's all I do is go buy more ships now. So I think where I went wrong is I just took on too much and I didn't let it go to other people. And yeah.
That's
and
right.
Let them handle it.
See, I'm good at that too.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need a little improvement, but I'm pretty good
delegating?
at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good at delegating. I'm just not good at delegating to the right people sometimes.
Yeah. And that's my only, people ask me as an entrepreneur, having it being at this level now where I am, what are my regrets? My only regret is that I didn't fire people sooner when I knew they should have been fired. And I hung on to them, oh, she's got 3 kids. Oh, he's in the military. He doesn't make very much. And I thought I was harder than that. Like I thought I was a little more heartless. Like, I don't care. And then I noticed myself hanging on, giving him a bonus, helping him out a little bit. And I hang on. I should have let him go. It is business. I should have let her go. I knew she was taking money from me. I knew that, and I just let things go. Should have let him go.
That is tolerant.
I know.
Like I'm a tolerant son of a bitch as well, but
not
like,
that tolerant.
Take money from me. I catch you doing that.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's probably not the first time.
No, I know.
When you catch somebody stealing money,
yes,
and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm hungry, I needed food," whatever their excuses are, you got to realize that's probably not their first time. Like their first time, and you caught them. Like, doubt it.
Yeah.
They've probably been doing it a while.
It was always gray area stuff. And this is an assistant I had to let go that I'm specific, but there were others that maybe not stealing money, but weren't doing their job. And, it was gray area stuff. Like, what's this charge on my credit card? Woo! What's this charge on my credit card? Why isn't, well, it's for this and this, but then I didn't see that item. So it was always kind of something she always justified away. And it
turns out it was just shit for her.
Yeah.
Dang, she just went shopping with your credit card?
Yes. But when you're at the level and you need help, you have to give someone your credit card. You can't be the one that does it all yourself. Yeah. I mean, do you, other than Melissa, does someone have your credit card to buy things? I know they do, right?
Well, again, I own companies.
Yeah.
I'm not an individual running around coaching people and just all the money comes to me. I have companies, actual like brick and mortar companies where there's controllers and shit. So the money flows and I just look at financial statements. Yeah. But there are times where I'll get a notice from Amazon that says, new laptop and speakers. And I'm like, who's this for? And then they'll say so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it could be take that shit home.
Yeah.
Like, dude, one time I saw an invoice for all these new computers. And it was a weekend. And I'm like, so I get up and I go look and I'm looking all around here and I'm like, there's no new computers. But this is a paid invoice, by the way, from Apple for $192,000. And I'm like, I called Jason. I'm like, dude, we got whacked $192,000. There's no new computers here. He says, oh yeah, they're in storage. I'm like, well, what the hell are they doing in storage? Because we're waiting on the fiber and all the shit that was getting installed. So, but I freak. So I got my eye on it, but I don't know. Yeah. And there's credit cards with the company's name on it that gets used.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, no, I don't monitor every charge there is. Should I?
No, I mean,
do you?
I do now because I have pulled things in a lot and we've really gotten down to a skeleton crew, but because now we've increased profitability quite a bit.
But do you get reports like what comes in every day?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then what goes out?
I have a CFO and he watches everything. And so, but I still like to circle back around. I still like to keep my finger on the pulse. I spot check everything. So I want to understand my P&L. I want to understand all my statements. I want to be able to tell you, if you say, Cristy, what was your profitability last month? It was 41.8%. I want to know exactly where my numbers are at all times.
Do you know them like that?
I do.
That's good.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
You're like OCD.
I don't think I am. Not like
it's not
Adderall
a bad thing.
Or whatever I don't know. I'm not, I guess, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. But if my copywriter comes to me, and she just came to me this morning, hey, Cristy, we just got an idea for you to teach a new workshop. What we're doing with CodeRed is we're shifting to workshops and retreats. That's kind of what the community wants. So workshops, why don't you teach a new workshop on how to handle the pressure of the social pressure? So our CodeRed rebels, they're on a program like you are. They're just then they go out into social situations and they get bombarded by people. So I said to her, that's a great idea. You develop it, and then you let me know what you need me to do. So I can let things go. And I know she's going to develop it out. She's going to come back to me with what I need to do. And I kind of do, we agree on things and I go. So I don't micromanage. So maybe a little OCD, but I don't micromanage.
But
and
you're
done
healthy.
is better than perfect.
You're healthy.
Oh.
So OCD doesn't cause the organ failure.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Stress does.
Yeah. Stress.
And stress and OCD are two different things.
Yes,
to me,
true.
I wish I had OCD.
Yeah.
Like to me, all that means
more
OCD
militant.
to me is extreme focus.
Extreme focus. Yeah.
Even though it's obsessive compulsive disorder, like, I got to make my bed. Like, you ain't got to make your bed. Oh no, I got to make my bed. Or
you got to make your bed. Come on, you got to make your bed. I guess I am OCD.
Yeah, but
I can't imagine
I do not make my bed.
Really?
No. And by the way, you said you're going to dinner with the Hormozis
Tonight. Yeah.
What's funny is Alex took a picture of his bed, which was a mess. And he said, for the record, I haven't made my bed in 10 years, which I started laughing because they say you have to make your bed if you're going to be successful.
That's what you do.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Right.
And I don't agree with that statement because, again, I do a lot of things well and I suck at some things. So it's not how you do one thing is how you do everything.
But I noticed with you is you are a person of excellence in everything you do. The studio, when I went to your conference in Miami, the things that you
Not
had
that
part.
one, but
no,
yeah.
I know. But with you, the things that you had part in, that you actually do yourself, that you develop, you are a person of excellence and in everything you do. And I try to be in everything I do, from even at 4 a.m. when I'm out running and I see somebody. I mean, I think you put your best foot forward everywhere. I mean, I know I'm in Vegas, but I'm dressed up. I'm putting my best foot forward for all of you guys and for you. I think that's important in everything you do. So yeah, you might not make your bed, but you are a person of excellence.
I would agree by that description. Because I do try to put best foot forward, and I teach people to do that.
Yes, you do.
Because you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Correct.
And that's why I said, I wonder if your hair, because again, if you guys can't see the video, she's got like a mohawk, but it's blue and green, and like you'll notice her. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I walked through the Delta Lounge yesterday when I was on my way here, and the two couples at the bar, I was walking through to get some coffee, and they said, "Hey, excuse me, like you look amazing." They said, "You look like you own this place." I said, "That's exactly what I want to portray in every single room I walk in. I just want to act like I own the place." And I do. I put my best foot forward everything I do, because it just takes,
Did that start in 2016?
I think it started earlier, but really took off in 2016 when I realized I had a company that had potential to make millions and reach millions and save lives and help people. Then I was like, and then I started to really make sure that everything I did was good. And also when I was fighting, I remember one time I was out doing my road work, out running it early in the morning. Next morning, my picture was on the front page of the paper, and I was out in the dark running, and they said, Cristy CodeRed getting ready for her next April 4th fight. And I was like, and that's when I realized somebody is always watching. So no matter what you do, put your best foot forward, smile at the janitors, make sure that you are being kind to everybody. They will remember you, and they'll always remember me. And this, it's just important to make sure that you are treating people with kindness at every turn.
Well, what do you think changed in 16? Why did 16 start to skyrocket?
I got somebody came into my program for weight loss, and she said, "I've heard about your program. It's really great." And she said she started to lose weight. She lost 55 pounds in 5 months, which is that's what we do. 10% of your body weight every month. It's easy. It's not that hard. And she goes, "This program is the most incredible program I've ever done before. I feel so great. I'm eating real food. I'm losing weight. This program needs to be worldwide." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she said, "I'm a business coach, and I can help you." value. And so she wanted me to get on the internet. Well, I thought the internet was for porn and checking weather. You know, I didn't know that you could actually make money on the internet. I was just kind of like, yeah, you know, and she said, you need to monetize. So I didn't even know what monetize meant. So 2016 is when it all turned around for me. She completely restructured CodeRed so I could reach more people.
Nice.
Yeah.
So why do you think companies are going under?
Yeah, we're noticing a lot of companies after the pandemic going under. In fact, I've got my eye on a few that are like some supplement companies and weight loss companies that I might buy just for their email list, because you can get, you know, James and I are talking about acquiring companies for pennies. You can, you know, just for their customers, just getting their customers on my email list, which is, of course, we all know the email list is the most valuable asset of an online company. And so my email list, by the way, converts at 60%. So I'm extremely protective of my email list. So I'm looking, there are a lot of people that are going under, and my opinion is they cannot pivot with what their customers want. What I want to do in CodeRed is not what people want anymore. And it's really hard for me. For example, we used to do events all the time. It was nothing for me to fill out a 1,000-person event. I mean, before the pandemic, we had the Hilton, downtown Salt Lake City, 1,000 people. We were selling tickets to it. My events could sell out in hours. I mean, we just could sell out anywhere that I was going to be. It was going to be, but we're not able to sell out events anymore. It's so crazy. We just had our events in June of 22 and hardly could get it sold out at all. And I'm the same Cristy and we're providing the same service, but people just, I don't think, so we're like,
why do you think that is though?
For me, I don't think that it's worth it for someone to come to a 2-hour, you know, we call them, after hours with Cristy or Rebel Reunion. You know, I don't think they want to travel in with the gas and the plane tickets just for something that's 2 hours. But we are seeing an increase in people wanting retreats. So they are willing to pay $2,500 for a 4-day retreat where they get to spend 4 days with me. So we're noticing that, and we're noticing a $20 virtual workshop. I just did one on Saturday, and just from the workshop, just a 90-minute workshop, right then I made $12,236 in 90 minutes just teaching right then. And that the cart closes on Wednesday, so we still have another couple of days. I'm sure we'll scoop up another 20 grand. And so for a 90-minute workshop, so I've got hundreds of people watching virtual. So my whole point of saying this is not to be like, oh, Cristy, I've just figured out what my people want. And I've shifted and pivoted to give the people what they want. They prefer to be at home. I don't know why. I like going places. They don't want to come to in-person events as much.
Maybe because they're heavy.
I don't think in our community, that doesn't usually keep people in. Yes, if they're that heavy and they need the seatbelt extender or they need 2 seats, yeah, that can be really, really difficult to travel. But we have heavy people come to our events and they want the love, they want the connection, they don't mind. But
plus you have raving lunatic fans.
Yeah.
That's the good kind. Really
good sign. But they're also, they're also meeting together on their own, little communities popping up all over the country. But entrepreneurs and company owners do not want to pivot. It is not what I want. I am not my target niche. It's what my people want. My people want retreats. My people want workshops, and we're willing to deliver what they want.
So is that what entrepreneurs and company owners are doing wrong? They're not pivoting?
They're not pivoting, and they're not keeping their finger on the pulse of what their community wants. They're doing what they want, and they're doing what's always worked for them. And that is fine. I mean, my ads used to be, a 4.5 ROAS, and it was so easy to get money from people back in 17, 18, 19. I mean, we were making money hand over fist, and it was just so easy. Now they're viewing ads differently. Their click-through rates are different. Our ROAS is different. It's just harder to get people's attention. Now we got to do TikTok style videos, ads on Facebook, and people, I think, when it comes to people losing the weight that they gained, I don't think that people know where to go and who to trust. I think they've been lied to for the last couple of years. They don't know what to do, and they're just not even viewing our ads the same way. And it hurts because it's like, well, why wouldn't they like that ad? Look how great it is. It's so pretty. We did such a good job on it. They don't even want it. We're getting a point 0.03 click-through rate. It's ridiculous. And so we're having to redo everything we're doing. But the thing is that I'm doing that entrepreneurs and other company owners aren't doing is I'm not giving up. I am staying in the game, and I'm continuing to put out more content and throwing crap against the wall and seeing what sticks over and over and over. And I think a lot of companies are just saying, you know what, it's just not working anymore. Let's just liquidate. Let's just go. We'll shift. We'll do something else. We'll get rid of this company, file bankruptcy. They're not willing to shift and listen to their community. I always put out surveys. I'm always putting out little questions. What do they want? Because what are we here to do? Solve a problem. We are here to solve their problem. It's not about what I've done. It's not about how many fights I've won. It's not about how great Cristy's mohawk looks. It's about Karen, who hasn't had intimacy with her partner in 6 months because she's so overweight and she doesn't feel good, and she won't go sit down at the bleachers at her son's soccer game because she's too embarrassed at what she looks like, and she doesn't want to walk in front of the other parents, and her confidence is down, her hands and her knees hurt. How can I help Karen?
Why do her hands hurt?
Because of inflammation.
Oh.
That's just what see, I know my customer better than anybody does. I know exactly what Karen is going through. Actually, her name is Sandy. My avatar's name is Sandy. Oh. She's 80 pounds overweight.
You keep saying Karen. Karen's a
Karen. Yeah, I always use the name Karen, but my actual avatar, her name is Sandy. I know everything about her, and I have got to always stay focused on what she wants. Every second of the day, what is she thinking? What does she need? What is she going through? Where is she shopping? Where is she going? Who are her friends? Do you know, company owners, who your avatar is? Are you serving them? It doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter where I go. It matters how I can serve them and help them with their problem. And I don't think companies are doing that.
Are you going to make the same kind of dough doing it the new way?
No, my profitability is higher, but the revenue is not as high. And I have no stress. So by me restructuring the company the way I have, it's good as far as my life goes, but I want to increase revenue. So I don't know. Why
don't you diversify?
In which way?
Like do more than you're doing. Something else. Doesn't always have to be the same thing, does it?
Totally. No. And that's what we're looking at right now. What else? We're also, like Alex talks about in his book, just restructuring things and putting a different bow on it. We're looking at that, like a different VIP program. I don't want to do VIP coaching anymore. I don't want to do the one-on-one coaching. But that's what the community wants. So how can we offer them something like that where it's not sucking a piece of my soul away?
Well, that's my problem, Cristy. And that's why I don't make millions coaching and stuff like a lot of you badasses. Well, because I don't want to talk to you over and over for months at a time. And it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's like most people don't listen, because I've tried to do it on occasion. They don't listen. And then eventually you're almost, there's content or resentment for there's like tension built up because like, hey, it's been 3 weeks and I'm not rich yet. Well, dude, you haven't even got off your ass yet. Like you haven't done one thing I've said you need to do. Get up in the morning, right? With gratitude. There's so much shit that's just basic. I'll bet you do it. I'll bet you any successful person does the things I'm talking about. And when I ask these people, do you guys do this? They go, no, of course not. That's brilliant. And then next week, did you do it? No.
They're not nailing the basics.
Did you do it? No. I know, but I mean, this is what I don't understand. This is what I wish I could help the listeners and people in that predicament fix, which is how do we get them to do what you're talking about? Because like what you're stating right now, everyone would be like, yeah, that's me, but yet they won't do it. I don't understand.
I don't understand that. It makes me wonder if they don't want it bad enough because
they don't think they deserve it.
They don't, and I guess I don't understand that mindset. I don't think I deserve it. I don't really care if you think you deserve it or not. Do you want it or do you not? I'm a little more black and white.
Yeah, but subconsciously, if you don't think you deserve it,
sure,
nothing you do or say is going to make it happen.
Sure,
like you can motivate a person that does not have a good self-image, nowhere.
But I look at the people who are showing up on your coaching calls because I see, remember with the little micro videos that you put out and you're looking at the computer? I imagine that's a group that you're talking to.
Well, so, yeah.
Or if I could face so they're showing up. So there's some desire there, but I just don't understand why you are successful. I am successful. We are lining out what to do. And it's easy. It's not easy, but it's easy.
Because it's easier not to.
Yeah. So just be broke. I don't know. I just don't have the bandwidth to try to figure these people out.
That's why I don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to do
and
high ticket
might
coaching.
be why you were stressing so hard that your organs failed.
Yes.
Like my organs aren't failing.
Yeah, you're right.
See, and I forget sometimes, how good I actually have it. Like I got it pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have billions of dollars yet, and I will get at least $1 billion because that's my goal. Mm-hmm. Or at least net worth. I may not be cash, but
my next goal is 100 million.
I'm going to do it with no stress, because if I have to stress, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it. I'm not struggling to eat. Okay. Right. I can eat. Okay. Right. I can travel anywhere I want to go. I can buy anything I want to buy. I can live anywhere I want to live. I'm, good. But when do you trade, hey, you'll make $1 billion, but you got to stress for 5 years. Right. Dude, if I knew for sure, well, then I'd stress for 5 years. I would choose to stress to get where I'm going. Why? Because I'm going to do pretty much anything to get there ethically. Yes. But my point is, when you don't have a good self-image or a good self-worth, you're not going anywhere. Like I think to raise your net worth, you have to raise your self-worth.
I've heard you say that.
And that's what I mean by people don't subconsciously, they don't believe they deserve it, meaning deep down inside them, they don't think they're worth that. They're not worth getting in shape. They're not worth making money. They're not worth getting rich. So when the opportunities show up and the information falls in their lap, they don't take any action on it, because if they did, shit would change and they can't have that. Why? Because they're not worth it. And subconsciously, it just causes them to procrastinate and pass by and, consider and ask everybody else what they think of the opinion, instead of just trusting your own opinion and moving on shit.
Well, I know that my opinion of money has changed over the last couple of years. I used to say, I want $1 million. And I was like, I want 10 million. I mean, you always want a little bit more. And then at one point, my ex-husband, Miles, he was the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, did really well for himself, retired at 49 years old, really set himself up pretty, very, very smart, went to Harvard. I have a lot of respect for him, even though we're not married anymore. And I said, he goes, what are you trying to do? He was looking at my bank statements and stuff and my investments. He goes, how much money do you want to make? And I said, $100 million. He said, why? And I said, he goes, just to say that you can. He goes, you can do it. That's fine. But it's gonna take a lot out of you. And it's gonna take time. Do you really want that? He goes, what would you do with that kind of money? And I said, he goes, buy another makeup palette, buy another dress. So you could do that now. You could buy anything you want now. So what are you going to do? Because it's going to take a lot out of you to get to that level. And I just went, oh. And so I started shifting around, just like what you said, is it worth it? And I said to my business coach, James, I said, but I want more. And he goes, why? Because you're living your life real pretty right now. Everything's really good. Like you live your life on your own terms. There's no stress. There's no problems. You're happy every day you wake up. You go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Why do you want to mess that up? And because I said to do that high level revenue, I would need to do high level coaching, those real big, big money packages where, I've sold those before. We did $800K in one night on a webinar. It was just big money. In my opinion, big money. It's a lot of money. And it's not worth it to me. I don't want, if that's what I've got to do to get, I'd probably rather get on the pole and, come on. No, but at 46 years old, get on the pole, that's not going to be pretty. But I would not, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Depends on the pole.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I would rather live my life on my own terms and have freedom than just have a lot of money because it's cool to have a lot of money. Why? I would not live my life any different now with another 5 million or another 10 million. I really wouldn't. I have a Tesla. I love it. I would probably just buy a newer Tesla. I have a second home. I like my second home. I don't really know what more I would do with more money. So my whole mentality has changed a little bit when it comes to money.
I think, what you would do is you'd get OCD about helping more people somehow.
Yes.
So more money would just allow you to be more impactful.
And I have different charities that I donate to. And now I feel like that I want to help more people. So now I and I don't know if your listeners believe in God or kind of having a relationship with God. I love Jesus. And when none
of my listeners believe in God.
Okay, you're right. I know you do. I know you have an understanding of a higher power. Well, I'll go into a restaurant or I'll wake up in the morning. I'll say, God, show me how I can help somebody today. Either either through a smile or a hug or financially, because I have the means to be able to do that. And I'll be in a restaurant just the other day, and I don't say this to get attention, like the Bible talks about, don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing. I don't say this to get attention, just to maybe encourage your listeners to possibly think about maybe listening to the inner voice. Walked into a restaurant, was with my dad for his birthday. He just turned 70. And I just looked over at a table next to us. It was a husband and wife and a little kid. I don't have kids, and I know that, but I do know that little kids, and I know you have beautiful kids, but it's hard, no matter if they're good kids. And it's financially hard, or it can be for most people. And so I looked over and I had this strong feeling that came over to me that said, pay for their lunch. And I never want anybody to know I did it, and I just told the server, please pay for their, whatever they had, please put it on my, and I think that those little things you can do. I did the same thing to a table of soldiers, an 8-top of soldiers. I said, I don't care what it is. I want to pay for their meal. Please don't tell them it was me. I don't want to know. I just appreciate their service. And so every day I try to step out and help somebody in some way. Most of the time it's financial, because I'm in the position I have. I don't think it's luck.
Why don't you help me?
Yeah, I'll help you a little bit.
Help me buy
I'll buy you lunch. You want to go to lunch today?
No, I want to buy an arena football league. Team.
Go in halfsies with you on that.
Yeah. I am actually thinking about it.
I think that we can all do something if you just listen to that inner voice and say, how can I help somebody today? How can I be a joy and provide something for someone today? Especially now that I don't work very much anymore. Everybody thinks you're so busy. I don't like being busy. I don't want to run my life that way. So I'm open to hearing that still small voice in my heart that tells me which direction to go to different people or different situations or something for that day. So that's kind of where I'm living my life right now at this stage.
And that's the secret, if you ask me. People always say, what's the secret?
Generosity.
At the end of the day, I think the secret is helping other people. If you can figure out how to help millions of people, money will not be a problem for you. You just got to figure out how to do it. Like, it's a lot harder than people think. How can I go help 1 million people? How do I help 10 million people? But if someone quits worrying about how do I make money, because now you're focusing on yourself. Like, how do I make money? And people die thinking, how I never figured it out. Well, I think that's the secret. I think quit worrying about you and start worrying about others, and just look to solve other people's problems, and money will show up. Yes. Money will come.
Yeah. There's the company that trained my dog, Arsenal Canine. I think you're familiar. They use Lightspeed. They came
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah,
that's right. Except Cristy CodeRed.
That's right. Well, I know. Well, I never even thought. Last time I was in here 2 years ago, I said, how can I use your service? And I don't think we ever got to into that conversation, but you
did fine without it.
That's right. I guess I am. I think you even said that. I think you're doing fine, Cristy. You can just keep doing what you're doing. And they are where I was about 6 years ago. They're growing rapidly, much faster than I ever did, but they're hustling so hard. And I've been offering them just few little tidbit of advice, just a little bit here and there. And I'm not a business coach. I'm not, but I do know some things because what's worked for me. And so it feels good to be able to go, guys, maybe a subscription service would be good here. And that way you've got that incoming, that ongoing revenue coming in, and then they implement it. And it's fun to watch what they're doing, to watch things change for them. And so it does feel good to help. It doesn't always have to be financial, but That's even right. if you could just give them your time and a little bit of advice.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Cristy, I appreciate you coming back for another round.
Yes.
I don't have everybody back.
I noticed that. I'm super honored.
Yes.
Super honored.
Well, that's because I know you bring value.
Thank you. And
the audience loves when I bring value.
Yeah.
And I said, how can I bring value? When I ran into you, I'm like, well, Cristy always brings value.
That's awesome.
I was going to talk a little bit about how people are, can just start losing weight, but I think it spun off to why don't they? And I think that's more helpful for today's conversation.
Yeah, why don't they?
We'll have you back and maybe we'll talk about how they do. But if they really want to know that, frickin' go join your shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can find us. We have so many free resources from Instagram to TikTok to YouTube. I've got so many videos. Put up a video every day. I think I learned from you. You said, whatever you're doing and that's working, do more. And so I started picking up on it, really started picking up the pace. So they can look up Cristy CodeRed or CodeRed Lifestyle. We've got an app so you can stay off social media if you don't want to be on social. You don't have to. You can be in a private community. So there's a lot of ways people can get value, even at no cost. But if they're serious, there ain't nobody better at getting weighing off people than me. Nobody. I am the best.
You just heard it, folks. Cristy, thanks for coming in. And folks, as always, until next time, keep it real.
Dropping bombs with the real Brad Lee. Subscribe now.